Are you ready, Trovians?
Aye, aye,
I
Captain.
can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, who lives in a club under the sea? Adorable and voxel and awesome is he. If Trovian nonsense be something you wish, then drop a piñata and pick up that loot. Ready? What's up with Trove? What's up with Trove? What's up with Trove? Arg, mateys, this is What's Up with Trove, episode 5, and I don't know how well this is going to turn out this week. I think I've done like 5 different takes of my intro, and I haven't had a successful one. And my green screen behind me is a little bit buggy tonight. This is going to be one of those episodes. But the patch is here. Yay! Yay, fish and ships. We're going to do a lot of talking about that. Yeah, we're going to go with this. We're going to roll with it and see how it happens. See what happens and go with it. Things happen, right? Right. Okay. So, it is Wednesday. First thing is I am no longer recording on Tuesdays. Tuesdays are now going to be Experience the Patch Day. And then Wednesdays I'll record and I'll be able to talk about the patch much better than how I've been able to talk about it before. I guess it just works better for my schedule. We're going to see how it goes after that. Try it this week, maybe next week, and see what changes, make some minor changes and whatnot. But yeah, so here we go. I already said it was episode 5. And if you're watching the video, I'm in my cornerstone. I got some little dudes having a picnic behind me with a fire. I was gonna get some footage of fishing, but my camera didn't want to work with the water. So we're in my cornerstone. Yay, cornerstone. Yeah, so yeah. This isn't working so well at all this week. Okay, so what I've been doing this week, not a lot of Trove, believe it or not. I have been doing a lot of PlayStation 5. Damn it. I've been doing a lot of PlayStation 4. I don't know where my mind is tonight. It's gone. It's everywhere. So I've been doing a lot of Bloodborne. Bloodborne came out last Tuesday, actually, and I've been playing it all week at nonstop. It's a fantastic game, and I recommend that for anybody who's looking for an exciting new game to play. It's definitely sucked me into it. But the strength of Trove was able to pull me out because this week the Fish and Ships update released, or I'm calling it an expansion because it really was an expansion to the Treasure Isles update we had a couple weeks back that brought pirate ships to the coves and all that other good stuff. So yeah, the Fish and Ships update came out. It was Tuesday, and with it, a lot of good things came, but a lot of bugs happened as well. So I'm just going to address a couple bugs, and they may be hotfixed and patched by the time this episode gets to you guys. So excuse me if they're already fixed by the time they get to you. But a couple of the main ones are, and I think this might have already been fixed, but I can't 100% clarify, is there's a weird clicking noise in the game. And that it's loud enough to be a little bit obnoxious at times. So if you put some music on in the background or turn off the music, I believe the clicking sound goes away. So that's a temporary fix, but they are working on an official hotfix to come out and fix that bug as well. A lot of people were reporting a shrunken UI for full screen mode. I myself play in windowed mode, so I'm not experiencing that, at least that I notice. A lot of people are saying that it's a weird and obnoxious UI, so they're also trying to fix that. And you may, when you purchase one of the new class for this patch, you might have to relog. That's a common thing that happens with new classes is you have to relog to unlock the class. Um, so it's not a whole lot of bugs, just a few, but enough to be noticeable this week. Um, but above the patch, above the bugs, this week brought a ton of amazing features to the game, and I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. And just Trove sucked me right back in. I'd faded just a little bit for Bloodborne, but I am right back in, and I have been enjoying this patch ever since it came out. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the patch. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, the new patch came out, Fish and Ships. I don't know how many times I've said that already, but yeah, surprise, new patch. Oh my gosh. Okay. So with the new patch, Fish and Ships, there's to get started, the best way is there is now a vendor in the hub. He's actually inside of a little mini pirate ship, and you can go inside and talk to him. He's actually a parrot, not like a bunch of cubes that look like a parrot. He's actually a pirate parrot, and he's adorable. And he will sell you everything you need to get started for Glim. Glim is a very, very important thing this patch, and its value went down a bit, but it's still as valuable as it was before. Double negative right there. But yeah, so you can go and see the pirate in the hub, and he will get you started. He will sell you a ship and a sail and a fishing pole, which I'll get into those features in a minute, but those are the main things that this patch brought. So let's go into ship. Let's talk about ships. Let's talk about ships a little bit. Ships were added last week, but you could only get them if you had a high enough mastery level, or you got fortunate enough to get one out of the chaos chests from the store. So quite a few players got to play with the ships a week early, but now they're officially launched and everybody has access to a ship. You can go, and I think it's like the starter dinghy or something along those lines, and I think it's 100 glim to get. It's not super expensive. It's just enough to get you started, and you're going to want a boat for everything that this patch brings. The boats themselves are not like mounts. One, you can't use them on land. You can only use them over water. And you can use them over lava as well, but only certain boats have the ability to not take damage in lava. And actually that particular boat is on the store, which I'll get into in the store news. But all the boats have their own unique stats, and along with those stats, faster speed on the water and faster turning. About the turning is the boats themselves are not like mounts. Don't think of the boats as a mount. They turn extremely slow, but they go really, really fast. I think your average mount speed is 100. It might be 90. It's one of those two, 90 or 100. And the boat, I think the SS Draconian that I purchased this week, has 130 speed. So it's efficiently faster than a mount, especially over the water. So definitely pick up a boat when you're venturing over the water to be able to move around faster in the new zones, in the new zone that came out. So along with ships, they came out with a new zone, and that is the Treasure Isles. And those were actually in the game last week, or a couple weeks prior, actually, around the time that the pirate ships came out. Basically, the biome is now deeper, and you can actually swim in it. And along with that, there's dungeons and quest areas in the isles, and so you can grab your boat and you can go for a swim in the new isles, the Treasure Isles, and beat some pirate booty. or get some booty, one of the two, whichever one you're more interested in. So that, yeah, the new zone came out. I'm skipping show notes here. I am terribly sorry. Talked about ships, treasure isles. So another really cool thing that I honestly never thought Trove would do is they replaced all of the vendors on the treasure isles with NPCs. So no longer are there little boxes that say, "Oh, you can buy a Quibsley adventure chest here." It's now a pirate, and he sells different things, different same exact thing that the vendors used to sell, like the Quibsley treasure chest and the mounts, like the Fast Frank and the knight helmet. I think that's what that mount was called. It's like a little knight head that you bounce around on, kind of like the adventure ball. Anyways, all those vendors are still there, but the way they're sold is now via NPC. So Trove is getting closer to having full-fledged NPCs in the game, aside from the enemies that you're fighting, which means maybe quests are coming soon. Maybe, I hope so. That would be awesome. And maybe those quests can include the new profession, fishing. Well, it's not exactly a profession. So let's talk about fishing a bit. Fishing was added, and it's addictive. It is really addictive. Basically, you go talk to the vendor now, because he's no longer just go talk to the dude. He's a vendor, and he will sell you a starter fishing pole for 100 glim, and then you can buy bait for 9 glim each, and you can buy them in batches of 1, 10, or 90. And you might be thinking that that's a lot of glim just to be able to fish, but let me tell you that it is extremely worth it to be fishing. I sat here today, and it's really, really easy to fish. You just walk up to a pool of water, and there are different rods that you can get. Like there's a fire rod that you can use to fish in lava, and they're going to be adding like a chocolate rod that you can fish in chocolate fudge in the candy zones. And probably like a plasma rod, I'm assuming, and each biome has its own fish. But anyway, so you walk up to the water source, and you push the F button on your keyboard, and it casts out a little rod, or a little bobble, and it sits there, a little bobber, and it bounces up and down in the water, and it goes click 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 click, and then you hear it bounce, and it goes bloop, and then it clicks a little bit more, and you push the F button again, and it sucks and pops out a little fish. Really simple. I like to watch TV when I'm fishing, because you can turn the volume up in Trove, but turn the music down, so all you hear is the bobber sounds. And then all you have to do is push the F button whenever you hear the bobber go underwater, and then when you hear the item hit your inventory, to cast the rod again. And it's really good to catch up on your Netflix or Hulu. Really good. Also good to write show notes too. I did a little bit of that too. But the fishing is extremely addictive, and everyone likes to hang out in the hub. And there were a ton of people. There were like 30 different people sitting in the hub just fishing and fishing and fishing. And there's different rarities of the fish, and you can go and, like in the shadow arenas, there's a tentacle eye that you can only catch in shadow arenas. So you have to go down into the shadow arena and find a pool of water and fish and get your shadow eye. Or in the hub, I think it's like a hub hopper, or like a chubby hub, something around the line. It's got the word hub in it. And you catch that, and it's a rare fish. But anyway, so you're probably asking yourself, well, what do I care about the fish? They don't really do anything for me. But that's where it comes in. Deconstructing the fish. You deconstruct the fish, and you get flux and other materials, and you can get glim. Well, you get glim, a lot of glim actually, for the fish, just depending on the rarity. And so you get your glim, and you get all that other stuff, and then you go and you go do more fishing, or you spend the glim on your minions and do all that other good stuff. Excuse me for a second, I don't want to go AFK. Just do a jump twice here. Click, 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 click. Okay, sorry about that. I was about to get disconnected in game. I didn't want to lose my green screen. So fishing is amazing, and if you were concerned that fishing was going to be boring, I mean, it's your typical fishing in any game. Push one button, push another button to bring it back in and get the loot. But it's a really chill way to relax and get to know some people. There were some people having a contest about what were they doing in the hub? They were like just doing like what if scenarios and like talking about the future Trove, and it was just a big chat room and everyone was having a good time. So and there's actually a guild or a not a guild, but a club that started called 99 Fishers or 99 Fishing. That is all about fishing all the time. And they're great. It's a great community of fishermen and fisherwomen. So that's a wonderful feature that was added to the game. And even though it wasn't needed and it may seem minor to some people, I can't imagine Trove without fishing after the update came out. So great job. 10 points for you, Tryon, for doing that. So that isn't exactly everything that came with the patch. There's one other thing, and it's not super important. I'm sure nobody cares about it. And if you know what I'm talking about, you're probably like, "What are you doing, Tiny? You're not forgetting anything." And no, you're right. I guess one other thing did come out. The pirate class. Yay! Oh, excitement. The pirate class is out. Fantastic. Everyone's been excited. Everyone's been waiting. Everyone's been counting down the days for this pirate class to come out. So it's officially out, and it is a beautiful, unique class. I don't think I've seen any negatives on this class in itself. It's just truly 100% unique, and there's nothing in it like in Trove like this class. It's excellent and beautiful. So let's go ahead and dive deeper into the pirate. Yarg mateys, this be Tiny's pirate tutorial. Arr, arr, arr. That's more of a growl. Arg. Arg mateys, what's up, pirates? Favorite rated movie? Arr. That was cheesy. Okay, so the pirate class, pirate captain class actually is what it's called. So for a mere, I think it was 9,000 coins, you can unlock this class. And you can unlock it that way. You can unlock it with credits. And you can also unlock it with a new pack that came out called the Pirate Pack. Comes with the pirate class and 2 pirate skins and 2 boats as well. So I advise to get that pack if you're going to buy the pirate class, if you have the extra $20 to spend. But anyway, enough sidestepping. We're going to get in deep down and dirty with the pirate class. So anyways, the abilities for the class, it's got the standard 4 abilities and a passive. Its passive is called Plunderbuss with a P, Plunderbuss, and that causes excuse me. Its passive is called Plunderbuss, and its description is enemies drop turret upgrading doubloons when attacked. So basically you're out there and you're fighting things. Everything you do causes the enemies to drop doubloons. Now you're probably asking what or thinking what the doubloons are for. We'll get to that in a minute. It involves one of their main abilities. So the auto attack is just an auto attack. It's actually, I wouldn't say it's a cone, more or less just a widespread eye level area of effect. I guess you can kind of think of it like the Draconian or the dragon, the dragon class, the fire breath. It's very similar to that, excuse me, but it's a shotgun basically, and you fire off your shotgun and blow things up, and it's beautiful. And all the meanwhile, while you're doing that, the enemy's popping out these doubloons, and you're collecting all this booty, all this pirate booty. Um, so the main, or the mouse button, the right click mouse button, if you're looking at your mouse, right, I think, yeah, right mouse button, is an ability called First Mate, and this is where the doubloons come in. So your First Mate ability, you take a cannon and you throw it on the ground. And all the while, and you might have actually seen him flying around my head, you might not. Your parrot jumps in the cannon and goes hog wild and shoots the enemies. And you heard me right. Your parrot just jumps into this cannon and goes crazy, and he just starts shooting and shooting, and he just blows everything up with this cannon. And that's what makes this class unique. And so not only is it adorable, it's awesome, because it's not just a normal cannon. As you're collecting your doubloons, the doubloons cause you to level up your parrot's cannon while he's out. Now, the parrot doesn't last forever, the cannon doesn't last forever. It lasts about 30 seconds, and then it goes away and actually explodes. But yeah, so you're shooting your shotgun, and you're collecting all the doubloons, and you're leveling up your parrot. And all the meanwhile, every time you pick up a doubloon, your energy comes back. And so that's your First Mate. He's your buddy. He flies around your head when you're sitting there. I'm actually watching him on my screen. It's really distracting. He just kind of floats around me, just do. And then he jumps in the cannon and goes hog wild. And when the cannon expires, it actually is kind of sad. It explodes, and the parrot goes poof. Just poof. So I don't know if that's, it's intentional. It's adorable, but it's kind of cruel to the parrot, because you wonder how many parrots you're going through. So it's kind of sad, but it's awesome in the same way. He goes out in a bang. Bang. Boom. Anyway, so that's your First Mate ability, and that has no cooldown as well. So I guess your minor cooldown is called an ability called Pretend Pirate. And what that does is it throws down a booby-trapped decoy, and it attracts enemies. And it looks like a pirate. It's made of cardboard, and it sits in a little bottle of dynamite. And when the enemies attack it, it takes like 6 hits, or takes a certain set amount of damage, and then it explodes. Boom! So you got your parrot off to the side in his cannon, leveling up and shooting off all these explosive cannons. You're throwing down your buddy pirate, your pretend pirate, and that's exploding. So you're just making mass chaos, all the while collecting and plundering for booty. And that's not the end of it. No, you still keep going. You get your ultimate ability, and that's called Man O' War. And it sounds awesome because it is awesome. You throw a giant cannon on the ground, and it just blows everything up. It's crazy how many explosions are going on everywhere, and this class is just beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. It's actually probably my new main. But this pirate class is just insanely awesome. It shows that the Trove development team isn't afraid to take risks, because it sounds a little crazy, all these explosions and everything going on screen, but the class is beautiful. It's chaotic, and it's amazing. And so it is a pirate. It captures the pirate essence. And the definition of a pirate is plundering and collecting booty and blowing things up, making chaos. And this class captures every little bit of it. So, and just describing that makes me want to sit here and stop podcasting and go play the pirate, because it's just such a fun class, and it's amazing. It's beautiful. So, and there are almost no downsides to this class, but there are a few interesting things that I did discover while playing my pirate. There is, and you're going to sound horrified by this statement, but there is no energy regen You absolutely have no benefits from the energy regen stat. Your character is default hard-coded at 0 energy regen. But like I said, remember earlier, that your doubloons regenerate your energy. So if you collect a doubloon, you might get 10 energy back, and then you spend that on your pirate, or on your pretend pirate or your first mate. And all these things are done in the background, by the way, so you don't have to worry about that. All you have to worry about is plundering and collecting booty. That's it. The game automatically spends that booty on your parrot and your regeneration of your energy. So in a way, it's truly unique with that feature right there and alone, because so far in Trove, every class can at least benefit a bit from energy regen, and this class doesn't use it at all. It is almost negative to have it on your gear. The other thing is, and it kind of goes under the bug category, is your doubloons, right? They're supposed to be your own. You're supposed to plunder you're supposed to plunder the guys, and they drop booty, and you collect all the booty for yourself. But right now there is currently a bug with the passive that allows everyone to collect your booty, not just you, and so everyone kind of benefits from it. And it was actually confirmed on the forums by a Trove developer, Farrrrrve. He said that it's not intended to be that way. It's supposed to be personal. So that is going to probably be fixed on Tuesday. So enjoy that while it lasts. I went in with a group of 3 other pirates when we had all fresh hit level 10, and we were able to 3-man a Shadow Arena. That's with fresh gear at level 10. So, I mean, this class is ridiculous, but in a good way. I love it. I still love it. Let's see, and I talked about the cone. So, you're probably curious what kind of stats this guy uses. He does use a gun, and it uses magic damage. That's where all his damage actually comes from, is magic. So he kind of shares weapons with the gunslinger. And actually, if you have a gunslinger, you can probably just trade over that weapon until you get a better one later. So it uses magic damage, and now the stats are a little bizarre because he doesn't benefit from energy regeneration. So you're based on playing. Now, I'm only level 12 right now, so I mean, I haven't had a ton of experience, and I've only done 1 Shadow Arena on him. So I can't fully speak, but I kind of agree with everyone on the forums on the stat weights. So just kind of quickly going over that, the stat weights are magic damage, followed by attack speed, and then health/health regeneration is about on the same par as stability. Now the reason I say attack speed is because your co-parrot, co-pilot, your parrot does a lot of damage, and you want to level that guy up as fast as possible. And so you're going to want to be attacking as fast as possible. So you want to stack your attack speed. And along with that, more doubloons will be popping out of the enemies, and that means your energy regeneration is going to be faster as well. So in a way, your attack speed affects your energy regen, as well as the amount of enemies that are in front of you. You're going to want to grab as many as you can, because all enemies are affected by your passive, which means if you gather up 18 guys in a Shadow Arena, drag them all to the wall and start shooting on them, you're going to pretty much have unlimited energy, and you're just going to be throwing out those explosive pretend pirates left and right. And it just explosions and more explosions, and I can't stress it enough, this class is beautiful. It's amazing. I love it so much. I'm kind of bummed that I hit the end of the conversation with the pirate, because I want to talk more about it, but I'd just be repeating myself. Just buy the class. Buy it. If you have the extra money, buy the credits, or better yet, buy the pack and get this class as fast as you can, because it is just so much fun, and it's just beautiful. It's a great class. Can't say it enough. So that's the pirate class, and that's pretty much all of the features that were brought with the fish and ships update. It's a beautiful, fantastic update. Everybody was excited for it, and everybody was impressed with it. Aside from the minor bugs that happened with the music and the UI, which are just minor, those can all be fixed, and they will be fixed by Tuesday. I guarantee it. And then see, I'm still on the pirate. This patch will be flawless and beautiful and an amazing patch. It just increased the livability of Trove. I can't stop saying positive things, and I can't say anything negative because as far as I can tell, there's nothing negative. It's perfect. It's wonderful. And just play it. I can't stop saying it enough. It's great. And now I'm gonna have to because I'm rambling. Just play the pirate. Hashtag pirate love. Arg. So the game updates, there were some changes, and now we're gonna stop the high with a little bit of a downer. Is the Cookie Fint adventure boxes no longer drop? Those were just an event. So I do want to apologize for what I said when they were released, thinking they were what the Chaos Chest was for the free people, for the people that aren't playing. I shouldn't separate the two people, the two sets of people, but it was the free. I thought it was the free alternative to the Chaos Chests, but I was wrong. It was just an event to get us through until the spring event. So the Cookie Fint adventure boxes no longer drop, which means the Cookie Fints no longer drop as well. So those are actually going to skyrocket in price. I think that they've doubled already. They went from 500 flux to 1,000, and that just depends on the time. I've seen people trying to sell them for 2,000 a piece. So if you have some Cookie Fints left, hold on to them, because as time goes on, they will increase in value, and I'm estimating a 3,000 or 4,000 flux increase on those mounts. That totally worth it to hold on to and save. But along with those going away, we got something new. And we got the spring Easter event, actually, which added Eggster adventure boxes. And these are pretty much the same. If you weren't around for the Halloween event, they did a Halloween drop adventure box, and that went on par with the Cookie Fint adventure box as well. That's how they celebrate their seasons, is these adventure boxes. So you're probably thinking, well, what's the Eggster adventure box drop? Well, it drops Easter themed stuff, along with the usual like different materials that the Cookie Fint box dropped, like flux and glim and fairy dust and all those other materials. You have a chance to get one of two mounts, and those are the Chocolate Canary and the Eggster Bouncer. Eggster, not Exter. Eggster. Egg. E-G-G. Eggster mount. So the Eggster mount can drop as well. They also said that it's got a slightly lower chance than the Cookie Fint to drop, which means they're going to be worth a lot more as well. So that's good. And I got the Eggster Bouncer from the chest, and it's a giant chocolate egg, and you bounce on it. It's pretty neat, pretty cool. I still like my other mounts that I have, but it's still pretty cool, and I love that they're doing different events and spreading out the mounts as well. So along with the Eggster spring event, they raised the mastery cap to 130. So if you want your daily chaos box for being max mastery rank, you're gonna have to be 130 now to get that. So you're gonna have to get 130 mastery now. Along with that raise, they added another reward for rank 120 mastery, which will give you the mastery fishing pole. At this time, there's no actual benefit to it aside from that it fishes in the water and it looks really cool. So I mean, they're working on getting stats for the different fishing poles, but right now it's just a novelty thing. I think it catches everything the same as the starter fishing pole. So those were added, and I don't know if anybody was aware, but there is a command in the game that you type called that is slash stats, STATS stats. And what that did is it brought up a summary of like your experience and like how many boxes I believe were opened, and some other minor stuff like that. Your mastery experience and mastery drops, and how many mounts out of every mount you had. Well, they added a few things to that. Now it shows how many patron points you have. Now you're probably saying, well, what's patron points? They already added loyalty points, and those were linked to the chaos chest, and I'm not even going to get into that whole scenario again. Patron points are loyalty points. They just renamed them. That's all. For every dollar you spend on the game, you get 1 patron points. After 1,000 patron points, you get a chaos chest every day for logging in. It's actually a lot easier to explain now that they got rid of the loyalty points, which is beautiful. Making it simpler. That's good. Along with the patron points that it shows, it also shows boxes opened, days logged in, and consecutive days logged in, as well as how many fish you've caught and how many casts you've done. All those other fun stats for fishing. There's actually a contest going on the forums right now to see who's the most dedicated fisherman, and I think there are people with 500-600 casts already. It's insane, but it's addictive. So I can understand totally why why they have so many casts. And then some minor bug fixes and whatnot. Actually, there was a bug last week that allowed mounts to run normal speed in water. Well, that's changed, and now mounts actually run slower, and you actually attack slightly slower underwater. So it's a bit more realistic when you're underwater now. So those were fixed and changed, and they classified it as a fix, but they nerfed mount speed in water, which is understandable because now we have boats. Yay! They're actually looking into a way to let people ride on boats. Right now, you can't ride on somebody else's boat, but in the future, you're going to hopefully be able to have like a boat party or a piñata party on your yacht, which is exciting. It'll be fun. Maybe we'll have a podcast party on a yacht. Podcast party boat, woot woot. Party over here, party over there. Party, woo. Speaking of parties, yeah, that was a smooth. Wow, that wasn't even intentional. I didn't write that one down. Oh, I ruined it. Anyway, so speaking of parties, the chaos chests were randomized again, and the previous stuff was added to the store. The 2 mounts, I think, that were added to there were added to they're not mounts, excuse me. The 2 boats that were in the chaos chest before were added, with the exception of the chaos boat that still drops from the chaos chest. But now you can get a piñata party from the chaos chest, so that's exciting if you buy the chaos chests, or now if you have those mastery or those patron points or loyalty points. Excuse me, the loyalty points, or the mastery levels for the chaos chests, you can possibly get a piñata party out of them. So that'd be a nice pleasant surprise to get out of a chaos chest. And also on the store is a new pack, the pirate pack, which I actually mentioned earlier in the store, or earlier in the show. And the pirate pack comes with the pirate class, 2 pirate costumes, and 2 pirate themed boats. One is the Draconian ship, which has the ability to ride on fire or on lava without taking damage. And then the SS Draconian is, or not the SS Draconian. Where's my mind? I think it's like a ghostly pirate ship that is see-through, actually, and it's like an eerie see-through green, and it's very very dark. I get not dark. It's more like a horror movie, kind of horror movie green. And so those have their own stats, and they're totally worth it. If you're buying the pirate class and you have the extra $20, pick up that because you get a lot for your $20. And not to mention the boats and the ship, or the boats and the costumes in the class. You also get the mastery points that come along with it. That's pretty much it for updates and the patches. Yeah, I don't think I can really be any more hyped over it because the hype is high. I mean, the hype for this week was extremely high. I think it was like a volcano and it finally just exploded and everyone's hype got all over the ground and excitement was had for everyone. So definitely, if you haven't been playing Trove, get back into it. Give it a try. Come back. It's a lot better than it used to be. Not that it was ever bad. That makes it sound like a negative thing, but it's always been pretty good. But they're improving it every week, and that's what's really cool about the Trove development team is that they're always improving and always adding new features to the game, and I definitely have major thanks to them for that because it actually allows me to do this podcast. I wouldn't have any content if they weren't updating the game, and then I'd just be sitting here talking to you for 20 minutes and saying, hey, I played Trove today, and that would just be like a let's play. And I tried that, and I'm not very good at let's plays or live streaming. So, and that's what I was going to say in the top of the show. Thanks for reminding me, is I was going to try to do a let's play of my pirate, but yesterday my camera was acting up and it wasn't connecting to my computer at all. So I wouldn't have been able to record visual of me playing Trove, and it didn't work out well. I can't sit there and talk about what I'm doing for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I think I'm more of a podcaster than a live streamer or a YouTuber. So I think I'm going to just stick where I'm at and do podcasts. And it makes me unique. I like my podcast. It's fun. It's great to come down here once a week and talk to you guys for anywhere between, holy cow, 45 minutes now. I think this is a new record. Awesome. This is exciting. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead and go into the weekly discussion topic. It's a quick one, so I won't ramble on much longer. But this week, I've been seeing a lot of people, a lot of newer players in particular, asking the best way to get mastery. So in case you don't know what mastery is basically the end game for Trove right now, aside from gearing up. And you collect, like you get a mount or you get a drop and you put it in you learn the mount or you put the item in the deconstructor. Everything you do in Trove gives you mastery, and your mastery level is pretty much just, it's a badge, a token of honor, I guess, of saying, hey, I've been playing Trove this long, I have this much stuff, look at my level. And each tier, every like 5 levels, you get a new reward for your mastery. So a lot of people I've been seeing asking how to get mastery, and people were asking, and it's a legit question. I'm gonna tab out real quick. Jump a little bit, make sure I don't get disconnected. Get back onto my screen here. And a lot of people were asking the fastest way to get mastery. And the best way that I can, honestly myself, I mean, there's ways to min-max your mastery if you want to. But I'd say the best way to get your mastery level is to just play Trove. And if you're having a fun time and you're enjoying the game for what it is, your mastery levels are going to soar in. It used to be a grind. You used to have to salvage everything and every little thing that you got and keep it all for yourself to get these mastery levels. But with fishing and the boats and the more stuff they add, the easier it is to get to higher level mastery. But yeah, just playing the game will get you your mastery level. And eventually you'll get to like the level 20 mastery, gives you a free set of wings, and level 40 gives you a mag rider, and like I said, 120, if you can get that high, which people are already, you can get that fishing rod, and I think there's a boat in there too. So yeah, the best way to get your mastery up, and the fastest way, in my opinion, is just to play Trove. Just get on, do your daily quest and your daily dungeons, and excuse me, that was very inappropriate, I'm sorry. If that was picked up. Yeah, just playing the game will get you your mastery levels. A couple things that you can do to get your mastery up is deconstructing gear, learning mounts, the breakpoints in professions, which is like you're gardening at 50, you get mastery points at 100 and 150 and so on after that. And then of course leveling your character, you're leveling each class to 20 gets you mastery, as well as every other level in between, and learning costumes along with that. And so like when you hit level 10, you're going to get mastery for hitting level 10, and you're also going to get mastery for the costume you learn. And a whole bunch of other stuff. So just playing the game and to wrap it all up and bring all that together is just playing the game will get you your mastery level. And eventually, a couple days, couple weeks, I mean, as long as you're having fun in Trove, the mastery levels will come. And it eventually it gets up there, and it happens pretty fast now. Yeah, so play the game and get mastery. Math equation. Play game equals mastery. Yeah. So, excuse me, I'm gonna cough again. Okay, sorry about that. So that's the weekly topic, the weekly discussion, mastery. Actually, my title was how to get it, what to do with it. That's pretty appropriate. So I want to move on to, I changed the title of this second to last segment from mod feature of the week to a community spotlight of sorts. The actual title is community spotlight of the week. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be a mod or an item. It can be a person in the community featuring a website or doing a tutorial. And actually, speaking of, sorry, my dryer went off. I don't know if you could hear that. Speaking of tutorials, actually this week's Community Spotlight is a very impressive series of class tutorials for beginners and advanced players. The person's name that made it is Scythe, and he's also a YouTuber and a streamer, and I've got a link to his Trove forums, which has all his information in it if you want to check it out. But he did short but sweet class guides for every class except for the pirate, which I'm assuming is coming soon, but they're only about a minute long, and he does each class in its own unique voice. My personal favorite was the Ice Sage, and he did it as a Russian and talked about the Ice Sage's abilities, and just a quick I'm not really sure the wording of it, I guess. Just a quick and dirty, I guess is the best way to say it. A quick and dirty guide of every class. Goes over the quick abilities of each, and that's pretty much it. But they're impressive. They're well quality, and he's got a little video that goes along with them and shows off the class's abilities and their spells, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and he did a great job with those. And the link is in the show notes for that. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna close out the show in a minute, but I wanna plug some awesome people here real quick at the end of the show. Shout outs actually, and I want to throw the first shout out to you guys, the listeners and the viewers of the podcast. You guys are amazing, and you guys are awesome. You guys keep me going every week, and I love hearing from ya. And even if I don't hear from you guys, I know that people are listening, and it makes the podcast even better. Um, the other couple of people I want to shout out to Yak on the Trove forums, because he informed me that if you hold down the control button while deconstructing, you'll put a stack of items in the deconstructor. And that's really helpful with fish from fishing, because you get like 5, 10, 20 fish. And I was sitting there deconstructing them one by one. And he's like, well, you can hold down control and you can mass deconstruct them. And I was like, what? Mind blown. So saved me a lot of time. And so big shout out to him. And the last, saving the best for last, is I don't know if anybody is familiar with the website. I want to say it's pronounced Trovosaurus or Trovosaurus. Anyway, the link is in the show notes. Trovosaurus or Trovosaurus.com. They are an informational website on pretty much all things Tryon. Rift and Defiance and Arcade and Trove, of course. They do a lot of blogging and write-ups about their games, and they were on the forums looking for community work, and not work, but like people's work and stuff from the community that people do for the game, and they were willing to put my podcast on their community media. That's the word. Why didn't I just look at my show notes? Duh. They put my podcast on the community media list. So actually, if you go to trovesaurus.com and then go into their community section, there is a section for podcasts now, and I'm in it. So a huge thank you to them for putting my name out there. And so I love it, and I'm so happy that I'm able to do this. It's a blast, and I love doing it, and so I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep going. It's fun. So big shout out to them, and a shout out to all you guys, and big thanks for listening. And yeah, I can't think of anything else. I think that's it. So I'm gonna close out the show with if you want to hear more from me or check out what I'm doing during the day, or just chat outside of game, Twitter is probably the best way to do that, because I have my Twitter feed up all the time while I'm at work. I actually work an office job. It's a desk job, and it's one of the most boring things in the world. So if my phone vibrates and it's a tweet, it makes my day. Like, really, like, I get a big smile on my face every time my phone buzzes. And of course, if my bosses are listening to this, I don't know what you're talking about. My phone doesn't buzz at all at work. Anyway, so you can, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so by following me at Alan91330. If you want to hit me up in game, run around as pirates or anything, or whatever you want to play as, and just make mass chaos and see what trouble we can get into, feel free to add me as Tiny, Tiny, and add me. I'm happy to add anyone. I'll get a random friend request and I will just add you. It doesn't matter. Excuse me, I cut off in mid sentence there. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. If you add me, I'll add you back. I love having more people to play with in Trove and experiencing this wonderful game with everybody. So feel free to add me. If you have any thoughts on the show, or suggestions, thoughts, suggestions, ideas for the show. If you have a topic you want me to talk about, or maybe even you yourself want to talk about on the show, shoot me an email. whatsupwithtrove@gmail.com is where you can find my email and send me something. Let me know. Maybe if you come up with an awesome topic, I'll bring you on the show and we'll talk about it. I'm willing. I've had a guest on the show already. Bubbles. We had a lot of fun talking about the new player experience, episode 2, I think, back 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah, check, send me emails, whatnot. Hit me up on the Reddit forums. My Reddit is Alan91330, pretty much the same as the Twitter. I'm very generic. It's either Tiny or Alan91330. You can check out the show notes. Anything I've talked about on the show or mentioned, a website or how to find me, it's on my show notes. And you can find that on whatsupwithtrove.blogspot.com. And like I said, it's got a pretty much not a transcript, but it's got an outline, a big outline with dashed points of what I talked about, where to find it, anybody that I've mentioned, honorable mentions, shout outs, and spotlight of the week. Everything is on my show notes. And so you can check those out there. If you want to take me on the go and put me in your car or whatnot, you can download the podcast as well as stream it through SoundCloud. And there's a link to that on the show notes. But if you want to find me on SoundCloud, you can look me up. It's Alan Sherlock, or you can search for What's Up with Trove. And also, you can find me on Stitcher Radio. I'm not on iTunes yet, but I am on Stitcher. And so you can find me on there. You can thumbs up the show. iTunes, when I went to submit the podcast to them, they said I needed a different icon for my picture. So I'm working on that and changing that. So eventually, hopefully, I want to get myself on iTunes. But for now, you can find me on SoundCloud and Stitcher Radio. As well as YouTube, actually. That's in the show notes as well, a link to this exact podcast episode. But if you're seeing it, you're probably already there. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. You can check out the patch notes in their full glory on the Trove forums. Anything I missed or didn't get to this week, you can find on the Trove forums. Or if you just are looking for more Trove all the time, check it out. Check out the Trove forums or check out the Trove Reddit. The subreddit's also active all day long. And like I said a few minutes ago, check out Trovesaurus. They have wonderful summaries of the show notes or of the patch notes and everything. I think that's it. Mateys, welcome back to What's Up with Trove, episode number 5. This week okay. Welcome back, mateys. This is What's Up with Trove, episode number 5. Episode Farrrrrve. Yarg, mateys, what is up with Yarg? Yar. Okay. Yar. Pirate voices, arg, yarg. Yarg. Yarg.